Hi guys, Jake and MJ back again for more live reactions to
Power
Rangers Beast Morphers. Wait, throw them away. Oh no, we touched our faces.
Well, I just got out of the bath, so my hands are wet.
Oh, okay. Alright, sorry again for the delay. This combo of Philo and Chromecast is determined to always fail right at 7 o'clock. I don't know why, but it is determined to do so. I literally had it working fine, like 20 minutes in advance. It was going fine. I had it optimized and everything. I went to cast it.
And it wouldn't unpause. And
it was completely frozen. Correction, I had it casting. We were just looking at different, and I go to check back in. I'm put it back to the beginning, and it's frozen. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I like disconnect, reconnect, and now I'm casting it again, but the pause button doesn't work. So right now it's playing Game On from last week because I can't pause.
And we'll skip ahead to the next episode when it's time.
So I am going to have to get up out of the couch and go over to the other room to actually play it, simply because my mouse does not reach over here.
Hey, Jake.
My keyboard does, but not my mouse.
The chat says Happy Pie Day.
Happy Pie Day! Happy Pie Day, everybody! I got some pie. A man picked up a few pies. It's some pie. Pie. And I do rather love the Intamin's mini pies.
Pie!
And
then come back, bring pie.
A little milk.
Of course.
MJ doesn't really like pie.
I don't like pie.
Primarily, it's that you don't like cooked fruit.
Yep.
And you don't like chocolate.
Yep.
And that cuts out most pies.
Yeah.
With the exception of lemon meringue, which they didn't have there.
And key lime.
And key lime. The citrusy pies, which unfortunately they did not have there.
And coconut cream.
That's another... Yeah, the creamy
I'm into cream pies.
Yeah, but unfortunately, the closest thing was the chocolate eclair pie.
Yeah, that's not a...
Yeah. It's like a Boston cream.
It's not like a coconut cream, it's like a Boston cream.
It's a Boston cream.
And it's got chocolate on it.
Yeah. It's pretty close, though. So, yeah, the world has been kind of grinding to a halt, as many people have noticed.
Yes, that's the other thing the chat wants to know. Is your school closed?
My school is not yet closed. It is looking fairly likely that we will be closing down and moving things online. We haven't done that yet, but it is looking pretty likely. We've been making plans. I'm expecting within the next week or two that we'll probably be closing down.
Pizza pie.
Nice. That's what we should have had for dinner. We had tortellini instead. We've fallen down on the job.
Good job, chat. Pizza pie.
Yeah. But yeah, so we're looking at probably closing down soon.
Rochester's school is going remote. I believe that's what you were saying.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. We're going online.
When Jake's school closes, they will be going remote as well, so they don't lose school days.
We have officially canceled the school musical now, so I'm no longer currently directing the school musical, so that is one less thing on my plate. I am still a little sad about it because it was going to be the first musical the school ever got to do, and the kids were really looking forward to it. We were into rehearsal. Yeah, I guess it's going to have to be a next year thing. We're still
two pieces of toast in one slot.
We're letting the previous episode play. It's on commercials right now. But yeah, we're probably going to still try and do maybe a short show at the end of the year if we can come back after this all dies down.
Yeah. If you can come back after this all... We're not quite sure how long, all this business
we have
gonna...
no clue how.
We're trying to flatten the curve, yo. Flatten the curve.
Yep.
Social isolation. I don't get to stop going to work pretty much no matter what.
Yes, because you work at a hospital.
I get to keep going to work until such time as I actually catch coronavirus.
But yes, it is a little, obviously, I think overwhelming for a lot of people with what's going on right now. But keep in mind, it's not that, we're not looking at, like, whole zombie apocalypse situation. No. We're not looking at, people, like, it's not like some sort of deadly outbreak kind of thing that you see in the movies. It's just a harsher than average flu, which is going to which it means that immunocompromised and older people are in more danger, and because it's spreading so fast, we don't want too many people in the hospital at once.
It's still worse than the regular flu. You know, it's going to be somewhere on par with your swine flu or your bird flu. The real concern is the 14-day incubation period during which you are asymptomatic but still contagious.
Yeah,
this is what
spreads
sets it apart.
easily. It spreads quickly.
It's not more deadly than anything we've seen before.
No.
It's just more spready.
Yeah, and because of that widespread, we're trying to scale down how quickly it spreads so that it's more manageable.
Please,
That's
see
all
Dr.
it is.
Mike.
That is
Dr. Mike
literally
knows
all
what's
it is.
going on. Go watch Dr. Mike.
There are many things that are bringing about the end of the world at any given time. This isn't really one of them. It's just bringing the world to a stop for now.
But I'm not even a clinical hospital person. I work in IT, so
yeah.
Don't listen to us. Go listen to Dr. Mike. Or Z-Dog MD, or even Mama Dr. Jones did one.
Yeah.
There are some real doctors on YouTube. They know what they're talking about.
Right. And I will do one quick deviation from my usual avoidance of politics in this society. Please, if you have the opportunity in the United States, vote for the guy pushing universal health care. Because this is a good argument for it. This is a really good argument for it. I will leave it at that. This is me asking you, please, nicely. I'm not saying you need to listen to me. I'm just saying, please do that.
He's begging.
A little bit. This is one of those scenarios that would be greatly helped by that situation.
It would. Universal health care would be great, but, in the meantime, it's going to vary on a local-to-local basis how well your area is prepared. I will tell you right now.
We're in a good area.
My hospital has this covered.
Yes.
We have tests.
Yes. Good.
We're lucky. We got some. We got tests.
Yes, they are hard to get the tests.
We got the tests.
All right. So that's considerably more talking about the world than we usually do, but this is also one of those scenarios that tends to be affecting the world a lot more than most things.
You hope this doesn't affect the filming of Power Rangers Season 28. Do they even have it in New Zealand?
I don't know if it's reached New Zealand yet, but it has reached Australia, so I imagine it's only a matter of time.
I know, but New Zealand tends to be way more locked down than Australia. They don't have rabies there.
Oh, interesting.
Same with Hawaii.
Either way,
there either.
Filming has not started on Power Rangers Season 28 yet. I do not expect it to start until September, so we have no reason to assume that this would put a lockdown on
Caleb,
Power
where
Rangers.
was that tornado? Caleb was saying they feel some badly for some people who were affected by a tornado.
On March 3rd. I remember hearing about that, but I don't remember where it was.
Neither do I, but...
But yeah, this won't... None of this should be affecting Power Rangers at the current state of things. We have no reason to think that it would. Yeah, they haven't... They're still in the midst of... They've started casting.
They started casting, yeah.
But they won't be filming until the fall.
Right now,
so we've got months and months before we have to worry about that.
That's a major population center.
That's right.
Nashville got a tornado.
And it was right around the time that they were doing their primary election, so it was disrupting that. I recall that now.
If you're in Nashville, be safe, guys.
Yeah. I mean, this was a week and a half ago now. But
wash your hands.
Yes.
20 seconds. Or 6 if you're using hand sanitizer.
Alright, so hopefully that should bring us up to date on all that. So yes, Power Rangers should be in good shape. For the most part, everybody's going to be in mostly good shape. It's really just the sort of slowdown of society as a whole that's really...
I think it's a bummer, because some people are going to be out of work for this.
And that's really the thing that's going to be hurting people probably even more than what's currently
major
going on.
Venues, everybody who works at a major venue's got to be on furlough right now.
Yeah.
Because they're not having shows, they're not having sports events, which is the right thing to do. But also, I'm so sorry if you're unemployed because of this.
But hopefully this gives you more time to watch some Power Rangers. Like we're going to do. Trying to segue back in.
Let's watch some Power Rangers!
Alright, so I'm going to pop over to the other room, get it going. Hopefully this will work okay.
We can't segue. Segway's not working. We're just going to hard cut. We're going to Power Rangers now.
There we go, there.
This is all Evox's fault. Absolutely, chat.
Alright, we are... Is there a pause?
Yes.
Okay, the pause is working again. Cool.
Olivia, the April thing, so far as I've heard, is pure speculation, but we are on to Power Rangers now.
Alright, so I'll turn the volume back on. Alright, so let's kick things off with me moving the mouse off of the screen.
Yes, because otherwise we're going to be staring at the title and the bar and all these buttons the whole time.
Keep running back and forth. And here we go. It's running literally the opposite corner of the apartment. Alright, so let's kick things off with episode 26 of Power Rangers Beast Morphers, Artist Anonymous.
Why does it say S27 with episode 26?
Well, episode 26 of Beast Morphers, but this is the second season. So that would be season 27 of Power Rangers, episode 4.
Oh, see, I almost said episode 24. Yeah. Oh, he's going to do art. Didn't somebody say in the chat last time they were looking forward to seeing more Artist Robbie?
Yeah. It is honestly a rather likable trait of his.
That's interesting.
He's doing a whole mural.
Like,
look at all that.
There's no way he did this all in one day.
Nah, not really. But it looks great.
I will say this is someone who has done scenic painting before. That is at least a 16-hour project there.
Yeah, it's a pretty big project.
Unfortunately, it's also on a public wall, so there's a pretty good chance that it's going to get graffiti.
Oh no. His mom is out jogging.
You're up early. What are you doing?
Wait.
He's covered in paint right now.
You're up early?
Left his supplies behind, so...
He did that in like 15 minutes, apparently.
Look at my hands. Why would anyone even bother painting a mural on a city wall?
Well, some people have a lot of time to waste, I guess. Okay, well, I'll see you back at the bank.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Don't be late, son.
Awkward.
Super awkward.
She just rolled with that.
Also, still, you expect me to believe that he did that in the morning?
What have you been painting? Nothing. Just touched a freshly painted wall in our house. Remodeling, you know.
Yeah.
With the back of your hand, you touched a freshly painted wall in your house?
That's great.
Turn the channels in.
Oy vey.
Okay.
His mural's at 10 out of 10.
Oy vey. What's gonna happen?
Is he the new Banksy?
He's the new Banksy. Hey, it's Ms. Reeves.
Until a new mural appeared today. No one knows who the Mr. Artist is.
Artist
but
Anonymous.
people sure love their work.
Oh, that's nice.
Dude, this mural is awesome. I'm sure cameras don't do it justice.
Let's get a picture for Dad. Give me this, little brother.
Okay.
You're the best.
Oh, this is gonna be very stupid.
He appeared to start during daylight hours.
Mm-hmm.
This is...
This is what? Somebody left a skateboard just sitting there? That was irresponsible.
And now she's covered his eyes.
Where are they going?
Dude, if you see that going on, bail to the left.
So,
That was awkward.
people really like it, huh? Of course. What do you mean? My skills? Come on, dude. Okay. I paint today.
Yeah, they
It was me. We had a feeling. Now get down here, Michelangelo, and check out all the people enjoying your art. Sure.
That's nice.
Over now.
He's gonna go down there, but he's not gonna cop it.
Like, we know Power Rangers is terrible with time frames of
You guys
things.
coming?
We're just gonna have to roll right past this.
Seems offended.
That's why you were washing your hands. Yeah. That's true. I did paint it. We already know you like to paint. Why lie to us about it?
You know what?
Sorry,
That's a
bro.
good reason to be offended.
I've been keeping my painting a secret for so long. Telling little lies about it is just a reflex now. Here's the thing.
That's
Whether
interesting.
it's a little lie or a big lie, it's not cool. How would you like it if I did that to you? I wouldn't like it at all. I won't lie to you again. I promise. Okay, thanks.
That's gonna get tested this week, I assume.
Yes, it will.
First start exhibit.
But I like how it was like, this, just good communication. Good communication of what the problem is, why it's a problem, what his reasoning behind it was. It works. That worked pretty well.
Jimmy Neutron's dad, Endless Pies.
Oh.
Also, this is Robbie's 5th Focus episode, and Devin's only had one.
He definitely had more than that. He just had a Focus episode last week. And he had Seeing Red. And taking care of business.
Don't touch your face. I want to face palm so hard right now, but I'm not touching my face.
Yeah. So he can open and close.
Keyroid, yes, it is the Keyroid.
Do as much damage to their headquarters as you can.
Assume they're calling him Locktron or something.
Let's go.
I didn't hear what name they came up with for him. Oh.
That's not enough. How'd you get into our base? I'm the master key. Guys, a Robotron has
I
no
am the
security on
master
parking
key.
level 1.
It's a Keytron.
Oh, time for opening sequence. Power Rangers, bow, wow, go Power Rangers, go, go, it's morphin' time. For justice we fight, with beast morphin' might. Together we rise. Bow, wow, wow, now, wow, now. Go Power Rangers, go Power Rangers, Power Rangers, beast morphers.
Raise your right hand.
Ben and Betty are the new Vulcan Skull? Yeah.
Well, yeah, they have.
That's the idea. I mean, they're not, no one's ever going to be Vulcan Skull, but they're trying, and they're sure better than the Fart Brothers.
They are a bit better than Victor and Monty. But still, the best Vulcan Skull follow-up was Cassie and Devin, though.
Can't touch this.
Felt good.
Can't touch this. Not touching my face. Thank you, chat.
So
Hey,
apparently,
Cassie.
that's the Keymaster, so who is the gatekeeper?
Keymaster. Where is the gatekeeper? It's true. There is no Dana. There is only Zoo.
This is not the interactive learning app from Nick Jr. Now my kids love learning. Great job!
Hey, look, it's those,
It's through the roof with learning games.
doomies.
Yeah,
Free trial today at Nog.
and the Bubble Guppies and the Paw Patrol. Yeah,
Jake does have a pie on Pie Day.
yes, I do.
Fellow Kingdom Hearts fan. That's gotta be someone else in the chat. Cause
We haven't played Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, okay, someone's saying something about the Keyblade, and that's why they said that.
Ah, okay. I mean, Kingdom Hearts has always looked like it was a pretty cool game.
It's adorable.
I never had the system for it or anything.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's on Nintendo.
Oh, look at this! SpongeBob is... Okay, I actually approve of this use of SpongeBob.
Be sure to get under those fingernails.
He's showing how to wash your hands.
Forget about the knuckles. And make sure those
And
palms
he's
are
not going to have any
really
hands when he's done.
Alright, let's see those hands. Now that's thorough.
He has no hands.
It's just a step to the left.
I think I've...
And then a breath to the right.
I believe I actually have seen that episode of SpongeBob. That's like 20 years old, that bit.
It's appropriate. Yeah, it would have been nice if the Power Rangers had made their way into Kingdom Hearts, but they're no longer owned by Disney, so I don't
This is
think
true.
it's going to happen anymore.
Power
That boat has sailed.
Rangers is having its own video games now, which is nice. Hopefully we'll continue to expand upon those.
Press! You're cutting it awfully close with the crass language there.
People like that crystal maze.
Except for that, don't touch that.
One thing that is unfortunate is that I did get it to actually optimize its output before before we tried to start filming, and I wasn't able to get it to optimize its output again after.
No, so we're watching a slightly crunchy video here.
Which is very
But
frustrating.
it's okay.
It's not as bad as it was the first time around. We'll keep refining this process until I figure out, like, timing wise, a way. It seems like there's got to be a balance between prepping in advance and having it going so long that it starts to break apart. So I'm just gonna have to find that perfect timing eventually. So we'll keep playing around with this from week to week. That's pretty cool. I was impressed. Were you impressed by her magic trick?
No.
No?
I haven't heard those yet.
Oh yeah? I don't think I ever had one of those.
The milk goes into the rim.
Alright, Robbie versus the Keytrod. Locktrod. Keymaster. Zol 9000.
Hey! Someone's bringing the magic cauldron into this. I think you mean the dark cauldron.
Oh. He can lock up the weapon.
Alright.
Nice.
And cue the Sentai footage, says the chat.
Hey, Skill and Nate. Whoops.
That, the old roly-poly. This is a move you've used so often that you not only have a name for it, you call it the old.
I'm curious how this is going to tie into Robbie's plotline for the week. 'Cause I don't know what.
Lately, it's been kind of disjointed,
Just a little bit.
so it might not even tie in.
I mean, last week tied in pretty close with the gaming. I will admit that the sea turtle episode was pretty loosely connected to its villain plot.
But it wasn't my fault. That loser Robbie was right there when I opened the door.
Alright.
Little boy Blue has had quite a day. First, he secretly paints a mural that
How
everyone
does she-
loves.
Oh, she knows.
Our brilliant plan.
Well, I mean,
Because she knows him.
She does have actual Rocky's
As usual, I have a better one.
memories.
You say Blue is keeping his painting secret. Why?
Okay.
The fool knows his mom won't approve.
Then we should use his lies to our advantage and introduce Coral Harbor to the mystery artist. What are you talking about, Scrozzle? I've made this.
We gonna dox the
Wait,
boy.
no. He made an extra.
Watching paint dry? You've outdone yourself, Scrozzle.
He's done something.
This paint is high gloss and
Explosive paint.
Now we just need a mystery painter.
Scrozzle continues.
I'll disguise him. Me? Then what do you want?
They're going to disguise the Keytron as a human. See, they're not trying to dox Robbie, they're going to just...
Oh, identity theft.
To create a masterpiece.
This is ridiculous.
So they'll let him paint on anything now with his explosive paint.
Oh, and he's back to me.
It's time.
I'll be the way to have him painting there in no time.
Wait, chat says that's Kelson? I don't think so.
No, it is.
It is?
I couldn't quite see his face behind the sunglasses, but I suspected. I was looking at him, I'm like, is it Kelson? It's probably Coulson. It's Coulson.
This is definitely goofier than season 1 rotisserie. You're absolutely right.
campaign to promote Morph-X as an energy source of the world.
He's convinced me to allow a mural to be painted here, on the outside of our HQ.
A mural? But why?
To keep the public excited about the global Morph-X network. More
Okay, so
going, the better. And as we all
Evox fully has control over him at this point.
Oh yeah.
Therefore, we'll use the same artist to paint this one.
But how would you find the artist?
He's right here. Guys, meet Pierre.
Hello, Pierre.
Bonjour.
And yes, this is
Yes,
very much
he
a
has
role for
locked
Kelson.
their blaster.
There we
Yeah.
I am guilty of creating beauty. The soul of the city, it speaks to me. A mop and brush began to dance.
You're gonna need a bigger brush,
You
sir.
don't recognize Pierre? You chased him off when he was painting.
Oh,
Is he the
yeah.
artist or not?
Well, it's just that he moved so fast when he ran away. But yeah, this is the guy.
Lies!
Awkward.
I'm ready.
This is.
Lies!
I like how we are taking something from the first season and pushing it to a point where it is becoming a problem for the Rangers.
That guy's taking credit for my work. Incredible. Well, he's a fake.
Sure, but can we tell the commander that?
No, we can't. You don't understand. My mother expects me to follow in her footsteps. She's been putting me in uniform since before I could walk.
Ouch!
It means so much to
Do
her.
not do that to your
I don't want to let her
kids.
down. By lying to her, you're already letting her down. I know, but
Thank you, Nate.
what can I do?
You can tell the truth.
There we go.
I don't know, guys.
Jinx.
Yeah.
My mom would be so mad. I'd be in a world of trouble. But how long can you keep lying to her?
I do like that.
You're right.
He is gonna get in trouble now anyway, by the way, because he's already lied to her once.
I do
Don't
like
do that.
how we have taken this character arc and stretched it out over 2 seasons. It's. Oh, it looks like the movie's lightning bolt on there.
This man is an imposter.
Son,
Excusez-moi. He did not paint the mural in the city. How dare you call me a liar?
but you just confirmed it was him.
It wasn't him. It was me.
Aw.
I painted the mural.
You. But you don't know anything about painting.
You.
I didn't think so either, but I tried.
How?
And well,
How do you not?
turns out I'm pretty good.
There's his plan for the mural.
So you lied to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did lie to you.
So this morning, when I was out jogging, you had not just chased off an artist?
No. There was no other artist.
You are a painter.
They've got the explosive paints.
How long has this been going on?
Watch out!
Oof.
Saturday mornings on Nick are always new and always a big deal. Pedal to the metal. Like Ronnie Ann's big surprise. I'm enrolled at your school. Everything will be
It's a little bit of a cringy and awkward kind of situation, but I still very much like that they built this up over several episodes to get to here.
You know what they've forgotten, though, as the chat is pointing out?
What?
Nate and Zoe.
They haven't checked back in on Nate and Zoe as a thing.
They haven't.
I hope that we get to that again soon.
Enough with the stupid questions.
But then again, neither Nate nor Zoe have had any level of focus so far yet this season.
It's true.
We had a Steel focus, we had a Roxy focus, and we had a Devon focus, and now a Ravi focus. So, I don't know, maybe Nate and Zoe are next. I don't know what the next episode is.
Maybe.
Yes, sir.
It would be appropriate for these first 8 episodes of the second season to kind of revisit where their character arcs all are. Like with... It is nice that these early episodes of Season 2 are just sort of reintroducing us to these characters and building them up.
Blaze is also overdue for his focus episode. Roxy got one.
That's true. Blaze...
Per rotisserie in the chat.
Blaze really has very little by way of character development in either form, really. Like, Roxy has kind of been the real standout between those two. And that's largely because of her relationship with Ravi.
As Demona, we're not doing Mashin Shentai Kira Manger right now.
No.
We may do it later during hiatus, but right now we're focusing on getting DRPR ended and only doing the Power Rangers review live reactions and not the Sentai.
We're taking a break from Sentai. We've been doing it for 3 straight years, and I am currently, as I've mentioned before, trying to finalize my certification, so I'm in the midst of getting my master's, first year of teaching, and trying to finish up Power Reviews, so...
yeah, we are going to try and avoid Sentai spoilers still, so yes, thank you, Devious. No Sentai spoilers.
Yeah, two live reactions a week,
Bit too much.
it's just a little too much at this time. It may not seem like much, but it is a couple extra hours that I could use for either getting stuff caught up on work, on grad school, or on Power Reviews.
Are you ready for next Saturday night?
Enough with the stupid questions.
A brand new episode of Henry Danger is a go.
Yeah, so far with Ravi's artistry, we have seen now him, because you don't want to touch your face, you're using the scissors.
Have an itch.
Yes, sir.
I don't think those are really much better option. But we introduced his secret. We had him reveal his secret to the other Rangers, and here he reveals it to his mom. And that's the sort of character progression I would like to see in focus episodes. And we're back.
Woohoo!
Oh, that is so glitchy. There we go.
And it's the Keytron.
Yep.
Of course. To the surprise of absolutely no one, in those painting bunny suits was Tronics. I don't
believe it.
Of course you believe it, you hired this guy.
I cannot believe this turn of events.
Touch my face now.
And we are back. There we go. Muffin time. I feel like the Keytron is pretty loosely connected to all this.
Very loosely. And he's about to lock all their weapons again. So now they can't use their weapons.
Oh,
the Mayor / Evox's acting was in fact terrible.
Yep, that was the point. Yeah, the transpods are all locked up. Go for it.
Nate made Scrozzle?
What? Who said that?
Rotisserie. I think they might be a little confused.
No, Nate made Steel. He didn't make Scrozzle. Oh, he needs to keep second on the Morph-X to maintain stability, it seems.
Allow me to do the crushing for you, or rather, one of my Giga-drones. And I can upgrade it with Gamer Drone's dome projection technology.
Oh, they still have access to Gamer Drone's technology. Nice. I wasn't expecting them to maintain technology from a previous Robotron, but that does fit with what we've seen in the source footage.
Oops.
Just blew up the,
Blew up the Tronic with its own bad paint.
that's fun.
Evux could easily have just can't kidnap the commander, but he didn't, apparently. But that is a good point, is that he is in a position to use that identity to,
Right.
to kidnap pretty much
Oh,
anyone.
Thought you could use a little firepower.
there we go. Nice. They may not be able to teleport them, but they can still use them. Good job, Commander.
Tick, tick, boom!
A Gigadrone is about to land in sector Charlie 37.
Alright, let's go.
Go for it.
I hope your Zords are unlocked now that that thing is dead.
Well, it wasn't, the only things that were locked were their little teleporter things that summon their weapons.
Oh, good point.
Okay, team. We got this.
I love how it comes up on an Evangelion elevator.
Yeah. That's cool.
It's another one of those dome things.
We better destroy it before it drains our Morph-X again.
That is cool that they're utilizing that technology. I mean, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense,
The Ultrazord is inside the dome.
But it explains the dome.
it gives an
Sentai
explanation for the Sentai footage. And I
Yeah,
approve,
probably they
I
are
approve
going to
of
just keep using
anything
this
that
dome
clarifies
on
that.
account of they've got to now block the Zord. That's not good.
Oh, no. What does it do?
Oh no, my controls are locked.
Okay, yeah, it locked up the controls. That's not good.
Cruz, what can you do? I've done a scan, and our jet boots are not locked. That's genius.
The jet boots aren't locked. Nice. And pulling off Turbo Ultrazord move.
Same
Boom!
Cody says this is the same as the Turtle Zord in MMPR2.
That's what I was just saying, that they just pulled off a Thunder Ultrazord move.
Ah.
Oh, and then they broke the key, that fixed it.
Systems are back online. Then let's wrap this up. Transport, Cheetah Beast Blaster.
It's still amusing that the Cheetah Beast Blaster is necessary for, like, every finisher. Nice. I feel like the whole Keytron thing was very loosely tied with everything.
Yeah.
It was a good ability to have in battle, but didn't tie into
So I
anything
feel
else
like
regarding
this
the
is
story.
going to give us
I thought I'd find you here.
I was looking for you too.
a twisted Aesop, because now she's going to apologize to him.
Oh, am I? To hear that you've been lying to me all this time?
Oh, please, thank you. Thank you for not doing that.
And I'm really sorry. I never should have done that. It's just, I worried about what you'd think. You always say art is a waste of time. I was afraid that you never approved of me sketching and painting, so I lied about it.
The lies are bad enough.
But
But what's even worse
that he didn't feel like he could come to her.
is that my attitude kept you from being yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, yes.
Yeah.
I love you, Ron.
It is a bad attitude for you to
And you
have,
can share anything with me,
but
and I will always listen. I promise, okay?
I'm so
I mean, that-
uncomfortable with the fact that
Tell me,
I mean, that is...
the consequences are
how
not.
does art make you feel?
I love to paint, Mom. And I know it sounds crazy, but it makes me...
Mario music during the Megazord fight.
I mean,
Now on, I promise.
I think this is still something that is good
makes you
for
happy.
children to be able to see.
In fact,
Yeah, it's important for parents to apologize when they're wrong. That's true.
Well, also the idea that you can go to your parents with things that are important to you. Because it was really that fear of rejection that was really what was hitting him. He gets to sign it now.
I'm surprised that everybody just took that.
Yeah, they just rolled with it.
And no one's like, excuse me, you're defacing the mural.
It's still pretty sweet.
You can do it.
Has she been up there this whole time? Are you kidding me?
Come on, Betty.
There's no way.
This has been a day, and it's not even that...
Oh, that's the problem.
Are you kidding me?
If you want to be rescued, you can't grab back onto the pole.
Rescued? Who wants to be rescued from fun?
Can I have a turn?
Are you kidding me? Okay, now. Alright. So...
Robbie could be the next Bob Ross.
Makes happy trees.
Happy little trees.
Alright, so a little bit of a weaker episode in certain regards. The villain plot didn't really tie in well with the civilian plot this week.
No.
The Ben and Betty stuff were just like silly little bookends. They're really struggling to find uses for them as of late.
Yeah, they are. Very, very badly.
Um,
Dustin says, lady he was painting, not doing drugs, please calm down. I think she actually took it pretty well.
She did. She was mostly just upset that he'd been lying to her, which is very fair. But I do like that she did recognize the reason why, and that punishment in this particular case wasn't necessarily going to...
No, punishment would not have been appropriate. No.
She was clearly hurt by it, but she realized that it was due to his lack of trust in her, and that hurts. But the only way to combat that was to, make it clear that he could trust her. So it was a little uncomfortable, but I felt like it was still handled fairly well. It's a very fine line kind of situation.
Yes, I have to agree that there was some significant cringe as regards the CGI in the bouncing Betty.
Yeah, the effects on Betty's cartooniness this episode were a little glaring.
She was spinning around the pole.
That was another glaring one.
That was really bad.
Especially because it's stuff that I feel could be conveyed without special effects. Or without significant special effects, just if you cut the camera properly. Like, that's the way I could see that sort of, I could see that same sort of physical humor being something that could have been done with Bulk and Skull.
But without so much bad CGI.
But it wouldn't have been treated so much like a cartoon. It would have been cut around. So you're just seeing bits and pieces of it.
Season 2, worse, just as good, or better than Season 1? I'm going to go with just as good on my part. What do you say, Jake?
So far, I'd say it's pretty well maintaining consistency from Season 1. It's hard to say because we haven't... I feel like we haven't quite hit the stride on this season yet. We don't really know where this season is going yet. But I do like they've been keeping up on character traits that were established through the previous season. I do like the use of the mayor as a consistent force throughout. So those are good things. I'm hoping we continue to see development for Blaze and Roxy after having seen Roxy's episode the other day.
Yeah, it'd be nice for Blaze to get his own focus episode, as someone pointed out. He has not yet had one.
And he really doesn't have a strong character. We really don't know much about him as a character in any regard outside of martial arts.
The only thing we really know about Roxy until her focus episode was that she was dating Robbie.
Right. But even that was still something. She also just has a more well-defined personality.
You know what? I'm okay with this being yet another Don't Lie episode because that's an important lesson for kids.
Yeah, we do tend to... That does tend to be a pretty standard Parenter's fallback.
Don't lie, don't cheat.
Now that being said, the don't lie and be yourself...
Stay in school.
lesson has been a recurring lesson for Ravi, specifically because it is all tied into this arc. And actually, that has been something of a recurring thing for these Rangers. The whole idea of being honest and being yourself is something that both Ravi and Devin have both had to deal with. Since both of them have had to hide aspects of themselves from their parents.
Sorry.
And
somebody's getting a timeout for spoilers in the chat.
Okay. And struggling with being themselves with their parents. But we've been seeing, in just these last 2 episodes, Devin kind of getting to shine as a gamer a bit more and getting a lot of great support from his dad. Even though it's not his real
dad is not his dad.
It's not really
right now.
his dad, but it's something that's it still works just because they had gotten over those issues at the end of the last season.
Oh geez, rotisserie, I can't answer that. Maybe Jake can. What's your least favorite episodes so far this season or this series?
In Beast Morphers, I think
Morphers in total.
I think that the Friends Indeed episode was probably our least favorite, just because of how harsh the Rangers were towards the Beast Bots in that episode. That gave us a lot of... That was that one Beast Bots focus episode where we really liked Jax, but we really disliked how the Rangers were treating Cruz and Smash.
Oh yeah.
And it felt like it was a bad reflection on the Rangers.
Rotisserie, do you mean the trombone?
No, trumpet.
Was it trumpet?
No, it was tuba. It was tuba. Tuba.
It wasn't a trumpet.
It wasn't a trumpet. It was tuba.
Tuba.
The tuba episode didn't bother me as much, mostly because I did like the moral and I liked his interactions with the kid. But yeah, I think that the Friend in Need episode, or Friend Indeed, I think it was Friend Indeed.
This is why I can't
Friends
answer this
Indeed.
question.
Was the episode that really frustrated us last season. And I think Rewriting History was a really strong episode last season.
Mayor Daniels is probably the closest thing we'll ever get to having a main villain in Power Rangers Series be a psychotic man. I'm sorry, are you familiar with
Master Org?
Mesogog?
Mesogog also, but Master Org more specifically, because Master Org, he murdered people. Like, he committed murder.
And Mesogog was a megalomaniac.
I mean, yeah.
And also a human.
But Master Org was, like, he got his powers, and literally the first thing he did was murder people. Like, Mesogog, yeah, he was evil and he created monsters and whatnot, but he was also, like, warped by the whole genetic science that turned him into a half-dinosaur man. Master Org was just straight up looking to murder people and went at it as soon as he got the power to do so. There was never any indication.
Murder someone, says Rotisserie Soup.
Oh, Master Org killed the Red Ranger's parents. It was in flashback, but they were dead. That was pretty well solidly something that he did. Yeah. And he did it just as... That was his human personality doing that. That was not ever conveyed as something that he was doing as a result of magic or science gone wrong or anything like that. He was just straight up not good dude.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with Devin's mom.
We don't know. Power Rangers seem most of the time to only be allowed one parent at a time on this show. Not quite sure why that's the situation. We don't know what the deal was with Tyler's mom. His dad was missing for 10 years, but we never heard about his mom.
I mean, his mom must have been around because he never really was referred to as like an orphan or anything. But then his dad came back and it was never like, oh, yeah, say hi to your mom. How's your mom doing?
We also don't know about, like, Brody and Levi's mom either. assume that she died when they were young, since they grew up on their own without
Or
their
Cassie's mom.
dad. You mean Shelby?
Yes, because I'm always
I
confusing
don't
Cassie
know why
and
you always
Shelby.
swap those two. It's so
I don't
weird.
know. I just do this perpetually.
Well, that one's less of a weird one because it's not like her parents were integral to her backstory.
Fair enough.
When the parents are integral to the backstory, it's always weird when there's just one of them.
Hi. How you doing? If you want to come in, you're gonna have to go around back and come over here, okay? Because I got a laptop on.
Yeah.
You can go this way.
But yeah, we don't know what the deal is with Ravi's dad. We don't know what the deal is with Zoe's dad. We don't know what the deal is with Devin's mom. Each of them have one parent apiece. That's all they get.
Or you can go all the way over
At least
there.
for right
That
now.
works too.
Yeah.
But you can't come across the keyboard.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed that there wasn't better use of the monster. If I recall correctly, in the source footage, the keyroid.
The keyroid was very powerful, and people kept mentioning that.
Well, it basically set up a sort of Die Hard situation.
Yes, the cat has made his entrance.
They were trapped in an office building and couldn't get out because he had locked down the entire office building, and there was that whole challenge.
He's a good boy.
But yeah, this one felt a little weaker. It was fun to see Kelson being Kelson. Like, Kelson steals the show always.
Kelson is just eating the scenery.
On
all occasions.
It did feel like a weird sort of roundabout approach to things. It's like, we established, the monster can unlock any door. I don't know quite why blowing up the wall was necessary.
Yeah, me neither.
It felt like a stretch. Like, it's like, okay, we made you out of a key, but that didn't work, so we're just gonna have you do a different plot to get into the base by having you turn into a painter that paints explosive paint. And that was a little weird. I'm also not clear what they were trying to do inside the base.
Master Meow.
I was a little unclear on that.
Oliver, are you Master Meow?
Because they were so focused on trying to get into the base, despite the fact that Evox could totally go visit the base anytime he wanted to in his current form.
Yeah, he could.
He could just walk in there, and that would not be a problem, and he could do.
He could probably walk in
whatever
there
it is he needs to do.
Like, and open up all the doors and shut off the security grid.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't work there, so he might not know how.
Even so, that was weird.
The cat love Power Rangers. The cat loves Power Rangers. We love Power Rangers. We love Power Rangers.
Oh, somebody, Joseph bringing up the fake walls thing. No, that was with the Trappertron. That was with the cage-roid. That created the fake walls inside of a building. Sorry about that. I was in such a rush trying to get the internet connection working. I forgot to clear off the SD card.
Oopsies. We're good now.
All right. So.
Camera, I'm tired. I don't want to keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we have too much else to discuss on this episode. No. Why are you trying to eat the jacket?
Whoa! Excuse me, young man. We don't eat clothes. We don't eat clothes.
He just sunk his teeth into that wrinkle in the jacket. It wasn't even like an edge to it or like a zipper or anything.
He's tried to eat my Fitbit off my wrist before.
Well, yeah, I know, but usually he's like trying to grab the
It's your
edge
malfunction.
of something.
We don't do that. Yes, I love you too, but we don't do that.
Well, yeah, this episode, honestly, I find that a lot of Ravi's stuff is generally a little weaker than some of the other Rangers. Part of
Bye,
that.
Chris.
Have a good night, Chris. Part of that is I do feel like Jazz's acting isn't quite as strong as the other
he's not
characters.
trying to get our attention. He just has a problem with eating things that you're not supposed to eat. He's got pica. Yeah.
I do feel like Jazz's performance as Ravi is a little weaker than the rest of the cast. Not to rag on him or anything, but it does kind of weaken his episodes a little bit when they focus on him.
He wants to get our attention. He uses his paws.
I like that they have given Ravi this arc that is unrelated to his relationship with Roxy.
Yes.
And I do like that they sort of have done similar things with Devon as well, where he's got for both Devon and Ravi, we've had the relationship with the parent and the relationship with the hobby.
Yes.
Or not exactly. Relationship with another character and relationship with a hobby. Because Devon has had gaming and the relationship with his dad.
We've gotten him 2 toys. Interestingly, they're the ones thing he won't eat. And
we've seen Ravi's thing with painting and his mom and also his relationship with Roxy.
They actually do make 2 toys for cats.
Zoe hasn't had too much by way of development, unfortunately.
Zoe's getting short shrift.
Nate's kind of got his thing going with Steel and his thing going with Zoe.
We don't eat the computer either.
But yeah, Zoe needs a little bit more, I think. She had she had a one-off episode with the bikes, she had the one-off episode with her relationship with Nate, the one-off thing with her relationship with her mom, but nothing that has been really a consistent arc to her character or trait for her character compared to the guys. Which has been unfortunate.
I don't run from problems. I fight them.
And then Steel is, got his thing with learning to become human, and also his brotherly relationship with Nate. And those are sort of his key traits. So we've probably yammered on enough. I feel like this one hasn't had, despite being sort of the culmination of
It was filler, as somebody pointed out somewhere in there. This was pure filler.
It was. Despite being the culmination of a long-running character arc,
with Ravi's painting,
it was still something of a filler character arc, and that doesn't necessarily tie into
the main plot.
A main story arc. But it is still nice when we do have these fillers that they tie into a character arc.
Yes.
Which previous seasons have not really done.
That did not happen.
So that is a nice change-up as far as filler episodes go. So I think that's probably about it for us for tonight.
That probably is about it, yes.
I will pop onto the Discord after this for anyone who wants to say hi. And I hope everyone has had a happy Pie Day. I finished my little pie, but I do have more where that came from.
And you bought an obscene amount of pie.
I always buy enough for a week. If I were to have a pie day. It's honestly, I just use Pie Day as an excuse to buy those little mini fruit pies.
Tabletop pies?
I just really like those mini fruit pies, and I use it as an excuse to buy them once a year. Alright, so I hope that everyone has a good night. We will be seeing you all next week, again, 7 o'clock Eastern Time, just as always. I know that now we just had the Daylight Saving Time switch, but still 7 o'clock Eastern Time. We will see you next Saturday for the next episode of Power Rangers Beast Morphers. And until then, farewell, Ranger fans, and let the power protect you. 3.141559, this is Pi, followed by 2653.